All right, guys, welcome. This is round 2 of the URA League. We are going to be at Spain today. We got a short quali and 33 laps. Looks like we got a pretty full grid. Looks like the only missing one person, maybe. The other Red Bull.
Spanish Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso became the first Spanish Formula One driver to win at his home country's track while driving with Renault in his second championship-winning year. He would go on to win again in Spain in 2013 while driving for Ferrari. The chicane of turn 14 and 15 is often criticised for slowing up the field.
Alrighty, guys. So we got 19 drivers today out of 20, so good lineup. Looks like the weather for quali should be pretty good. We're looking at about 19% chance of rain, so shouldn't get any rain. Race also looks sunny, so that's good. That means the good drivers will be good, except for Dorsey, and the bad drivers will be bad. You know, no blame in the weather, as some of these guys in this lobby tend to do, unfortunately. Alright, well, we do have some people coming to track. We'll ride along with the head car here. Lingy 12. See what he sends for his benchmark. Alright. So Lingy 12 starts. We'll see how he does, see what the benchmark is around here. So far, so good. Looks pretty smooth. A 112.835. That was for Drag Queen, actually. Oh, my bad. Drag King. Sorry, I had a talk with him. He's actually been doing some drag queening, so Drag Queen, Drag King. Got it mixed up a little bit, but he sets a 112.835, which so far is doing pretty good. Everybody else is in the 113s. Titanium, Little Mo. Styled Harmony set a 115. He might have been running some heavier fuel, or maybe he just sucks. We don't know yet. Dorsey comes in, a 112.737. Take pole so far. Still early on in qualifying. Let's hear what Sublime can do. He's going to be the next person here. Sublime takes it into 6 with a 113.5. Seems like we're getting some 113.5s, 113.7s. A couple in the lower 113s. Rocket Man's on an outlap. Uncut Jules is on an outlap. Let's see where RF Tom is going. He does set a purple sector 1, it looks like. Uncut Jules is out there. Spaz Squash is out there. 2 of the Aston Martins are setting laps right now. Looks like RF1 Tom sets another purple sector. Looks like we might have Uncut here finish. Sorry, that was Spaz Squash. He goes 3rd with a 113. And then there's RF1 Tom, 112.29. So he's about 5/10 faster than the number 2 driver, Dave Dorsey. Pretty solid lap. It looked like he was sitting on a good lap. 2 purple sectors. Rocket Man is now setting his time. For some reason, Uncut's going slow. I don't know if he has an issue. There's no other cars around him. And he hasn't set a time yet, so. Looks like he's starting 143.0. Yep. I think he's got some time to find there. A 143. Everybody else is in that 113s, 112s. So hopefully he finds some time. It is an Aston Martin, so who knows. Looks like we have a yellow in Sector 3. Alright, that was Rocket Man. Looks like he was just slowing down for some traffic. Alrighty. So we got Dorsey back out on an outlap. We got Drag King back out. Those are the guys in 2nd and 3rd. They're the only other 2 guys other than RF1 Tom to put it in the 112s. Stick here with Drag King, see if he can improve. Try and take the, get some tenths, get over Dave, or maybe he shoots for RF1 Tom. Not seeing any purple from him yet in the first two sectors, but he may still be improving. Let's see what he does. Finishes up within this final sector. Keeps it clean. He does improve. Improves about 3/10. Goes into second for a 112.512. Still about 2.5, 2/10 off of RF1 Tom, but that's a solid lap. Dave is going around now. Let's see if he can improve. We did get a exclusive interview with Dave Dorsey's wife, actually, this week when they were at the track. So we'll bring that to you here on the break. But let's see what he does. He's coming around the final turn here. Opens up that DRS. Does improve, but not by enough to gain any spots. He gets about a 10th. Goes to 112.611. His teammate Sergil. He's out there. We do have our leader coming out for his outlap. Running into a little bit of traffic, but that's all right. All right, coming around. No, it looks like he's pitting. So we've gotten a few more. Ooh, looks like he ran into the wall. I mean, that's typical Sergil. If you've raced with him before, it's either the wall or you. So I guess as a fellow racing driver, you prefer him to hit the wall than yourselves. Looks like they did run into a bit of traffic. They need to work on the release and getting that tidied up so they don't waste any time in the pit. Sergil's going to be sitting there for a little bit longer than I'm sure he wants to. Let's head up to RF1 Tom. He's going out. He's about to finish up here, Sector 2, heading to the final sector, see what he sets. Does set a purple Sector 2. See if he can improve on his time. Make it harder for any of the other guys to catch up to him. He does improve. He improves almost a full 10th. He goes to 112.155. I mean, RF1 Tom is one of those drivers that every team wish they had him. Unfortunately, the French team has him, which don't know why you would agree to go there. I mean, who wants to race for a French team, right? Let's see, we got Rocket Man out there. He might be finishing up a lap. Now he's coming in. Looks like everybody from 5th to 9th, there's a spread of about a 10th to 2/10. They're all pretty packed in. Everybody's pretty close. Squish is out on an outlap. Let's see if we can follow him. He's one of those drivers. He's either going to stick it right there in 5th, which is about all he's good for, or, you know, he just doesn't set a time. He keeps forgetting that, you know, it's an actual race going on. That's what happens when you smoke too much weed in Colorado. Surprised they even let him drive. He's probably high right now. Yep, warming up the tires. Let's see what he does. He needs to set a time. Him and Rocket Man are the only ones that haven't set a time, so Rocket Man's still in the pits, but Squish is about to start his flying lap. We'll follow along with him. So far, good first sector. He did get a purple first sector. Might run into some traffic. So let's see if he can keep it clean. Coming up to the fast right-hander. Open up that DRS. There you go. Heavy braking point. Final turn. Let's see where he goes. See? Bumps it right to 5th. Like I said, he either put it in 5th for you or he'll just forget to set a lap. But a 1:12.9, not bad. He does get pushed down by Captain right after he sets a lap. Quite a few people out in the pits, but we got Titanium out there. Another guy, for some reason, wanted to be on the French team. Don't know why, but I guess when your nickname's Tit, makes sense. Might be a pussy. Drive for a French team. Eat your croissant. You know, surrender to Germany. Have the Americans come and help you. Be ungrateful about it, but hey. Let's see what he does. He's at a 1:13.3 right now. You know, even just 2-3 tenths could bump him into that top 10. So let's see what he can get on this lap. Does show purple sector, so solid start. We do have our leader and our 3rd place, Dorsey, on their outlap right now. We'll check in with them, see if Dorsey can find 5 tenths or if RF1 Tom can put even more time in between him and the rest of the pack. So here comes Titanium around the final turn. Open the DRS. Bumps him up to 6. Solid time. Squish has come to a stop for some reason. It might be all the weed. We don't know. Yeah, he just, getting out of the way. We got Dorsey and we got RF1 Tom starting their final laps. We'll watch along with Dorsey. He's a little bit ahead. He's going to run into some traffic, it looks like. Does set a purple sector 1. Seems like a lot of people are setting purple sector 1s. So Drag King and Spasquash are staying in the pits. Obviously they can't set a time, too late, so they must be happy with their time. 2nd and 4th so far. That's solid. You don't expect that from someone who does drag in their free time. And Spasquash, who was actually on the Sasquatch documentary. He was caught as one of the hunters looking for Sasquatch. He believes he's out there. He was actually doing testing. So Dorsey comes through, does not improve. RF1 Tom just brought it into the pits. So it looks like we got RF1 Tom taking pole. Drag King in second. Dorsey in third. Looks like we may still have a couple people setting their laps. Captains out there. No, he's coming in the pits. Little man. Little Mo. Sorry. If you met him, you would understand why I called him Little Man. He is little. Man part, I don't know. That's unconfirmed, but little, yes. He's coming into the pits. Oh, looks like that's qualifying. So not too much craziness. Weather was good like we expected, but we got RF1 Tom taking pole. Honestly, the big surprise was Sergel down in 13th. We have seen him be faster than that. I would expect him in that top 10. He wasn't too far off. A couple tenths. I know Dorsey's looking for more from his teammate. That was solid qualifying, guys. Solid qualifying. We do have a little bit of a intermission before the race. That's where we're going to get to a couple of our hard-hitting interviews that we did this week. Again, we did interview Dorsey Dave's wife. She had some very, very questionable things about his character to say. Also, why she married him in the first place. But solid. And then, so, as I said, top three. Spaz Squash in fourth. Sublime fifth. Captain in sixth. Chris in seven. Little Mo eighth. Tit 9. J Supreme, although he never owns a Supreme, 10 because he's broke. That is your top 10. Just outside the top 10, we got Squish. Alrighty, guys, so we're here at the intermission. Again, it'll be about 5 minutes. We're going to go to our interview here in about a minute. It was short, but we got a good insight into Dorsey and his life, with the love of his life. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We're still in the intermission, but we do have an interview with Dave Dorsey's wife, Lizzie, that I did this weekend when they came to the racetrack. As he was doing some practice laps, got to talking with Lizzie, trying to dig a little deep into the man that is Dorsey Dave, that for some reason some of us think is a fast driver. Good man, funny man, but anyways, so got to talking, asked what's sort of the things that attracted her to a man like Dorsey Dave. First thing she said was the hairstyle, which is a bit surprising. It's pretty generic for a white dude. But she also said that he worships her. Down basically doesn't tell her no. Doesn't tell her no. Does whatever she wants. Basically a simp, which, after meeting her, I can kind of understand. She's really nice. She's really pretty. But, as a man, talk about a woman having your own balls. She's got them around her neck. But, I can understand the appeal of someone like that to a woman like Lizzie. Having basically your own little puppy dog. Then I asked kind of what their routine is through the week. She says she mostly goes out. She provides for the family while he does his racing, in quotation marks. That's his life, is this racing life. But she goes out, she provides, she brings home the moolah, she brings home the food. Every once in a while he does clean, which is a bit surprising, but he does clean. We asked, how they met. They actually met at a bar, just chit-chatting. And she was going to friend zone him, but, after a while, she's like, you know what, let's just date this guy, see how it goes. And then she found out she could basically control him. So she does that. It's kind of impressive talking to her, being around someone like that. You get a real sense for the kind of person they are and what they contribute to this world, which is a lot. She contributes a lot. She has a great amount of self-respect. But anyways, we're going to go to the formation lap. Starting out here, RF1 Tom leading the pack. The key thing in this formation lap is to get your tires nice and warm, get them to that optimal temperature you want to start the race at. That way you get a good start. Someone like RF1 Tom, he's just so much better than the rest of this pack. He honestly could probably just not do a formation lap and beat the rest of these guys, but he likes to give these other people some false hope. Some people call him the Max Verstappen of this league. Fortunately for him, I don't see it. He's not, a douchebag with a lisp, so that's good. But, he does a lot of things for the poor, mentally handicapped people in his free time, so it's really impressive that a league like this could have someone like RF1 Tom. Granted, him constantly winning does take away a little bit, but when a guy's like RF1 Tom is in your league and they mean so much, they do all the things they do for your league outside of it, bringing recognition, it's pretty impressive. So they're coming up here to the start. We got a few stragglers back there, keep getting their tires warm. Apparently, Squish messed something up, and so did Brownito Supreme. They both got DQ'd, which is impressive for Brownito Supreme. But we are at 5 lights. And away we go. It's a good start by Dorsey. He's up to second already. He's getting that toe from Tom. Little man up a spot. Oh, Drag King pulls it down. Let's see if he can hold it. He does. Nice clean racing there for turn 1. As they come around here, let's see. Going 3 wide. Magneto Supreme. He bumps up a couple spots. Titanium gets on Little Mick. As they're jostling down to this heavy braking point, let's see. Ooh, Little Mick got him so far. Let's see if he can hold it. Yep. Leave some room. Personally, I wouldn't leave room for any car that's owned by a French company, but it's just me. We got Little Mo and Sublime battling for your 4th and 5th. Dorsey's already down a 2nd on the Drag King. Let's see if he can pull him back up a little bit once we get DRS enabled. So far, a couple of good clean laps. That's what you like to see, these racers keeping it nice and tight and clean. Little Mick might be falling down a spot. Oh, what happened? We did get Rocket Man. Ooh, oh no. We got Rocket Man, Uncut Jewels, and looks like Styled Harmony. They all had a nice little incident in the heavy braking point. We had a severe collision. SSR gets a 5-second penalty. I mean, you would kind of blame the Ferrari team for not letting them know. But he needs to catch up. He's got 5 seconds. We do have a virtual safety car. So as soon as I say we're having a nice clean race, we have an incident. Unfortunately, Rocket Man looks like he took a spill coming around the fast turn, the fast right-hander up the hill. Unfortunately, didn't get a good look at it. Rocket Man, as you all well know, was in the Haas, who's really searching at the beginning of this year to get some points going. We are back to green flag racing. Now with Rocket Man out, what do we have here? Another incident involving the Williams. Oh no. We believe the AlphaTauri of Magneto Supreme took a spill. He's going to have to pit. He brought back Titanium down with him. That gets SSR back in the mix a little bit. Uncut Jewels has to pit. Uncut Jewels, as you well know, is actually cut. He does have a nudicle place, so why he has his name as Uncut is a mystery to all of us. Unfortunately, he had to get the nudicle when he was with his wife. Apparently, his wife, at some point in time, always kicks him in the nuts, and one night it just went a little too far and she busted, so he had to get a nudicle in. But it doesn't seem to slow him down too much. Yeah, he is in 16th and 23 seconds behind the guy in front of him, but hopefully he can bring it back in. Drag King is over a second behind RF1 Tom. He's a little bit out of the DRS. Let's see if he can pull him in. But Dorsey is right there. He opens that DRS. Let's see if he can get close enough to Drag King to make a move into turn one. Not quite. I think he's just buying his time. Doesn't want to burn up those tires too quick. That's Sergio, his teammate. Just a couple tenths off Squish. So we got Mercedes and McLaren battling. One's for second, one's for 10th. But they are battling. Sergio just about 6 tenths off of Squish. And same thing for Dorsey off Drag King. We do have Little Mo and Spazquash. They are in a tight battle. They're right there with Sub for Lime leading them. Looks like a little bit of a DRS train going. Let's see if anyone can make a move on the Ferrari. We're going to be coming down a fast straight here. There we go. We got DRS wide open. Let's see if he can make a move. Looks like he's catching him. Goes to the inside. That seemed pretty easy. And there we go. Nice easy move from Spazquash. Such a terrible name, by the way, Spazquash. But nice move. Let's see if he can now pull away a little bit. Catch up to Dorsey. They're about 2.6 off. We do have an incident. Looks like one of the Alpha Tauris took a little bit of a spin, but he's back on. We got a green track. Little man is hanging there tight with the Ferrari. Let's see. We got another DRS detection coming here through. Let's see if anything happens. Good thing for Sublime. He was able to get DRS as well. We did get Drag King. He has made up some good time on RF1 Tom. Him and Dorsey are right there. Let's see if either one of them can make a move going into turn one. They'll both have DRS. Drag King right there. Seems like he's catching. Looks like he might go to the inside as well. Yes, he does. We do have a new leader in the McLaren. Nice. Good, easy overtaking. There we go. Now let's see if he can break away. Maybe he can break the DRS, but RF1 Tom now in second. Dorsey very close behind. Spazquash is still about 2.5, 2.6 seconds off, but he has broken the toe a little bit from Sublime. Sublime's about a second off. We do have the Red Bull of Chris and the Alfa Romeo of Captain. They seem pretty close. Titanium does put in a fastest lap. Not that that will help him down in 16th. Yeah, a little bit of a DRS train going. You got the Sub for Lime leading that. He's about 1.8 off of Spaz. Spaz got it down to 2. Let's see if RF1 Tom can make a move back for first here. Got Dorsey right behind him. He slots in right behind Drag King. Yeah, he's a little bit far off, but that's alright. He keeps it tight. He is on the softs. His tires might be wearing out a little bit more than those on the medium here. We'll see what that strategy, how that strategy works out for him. See here. Back of the pack, we got Lil Mick and his teammate Styled Harmony. Both of the Williams drivers back of the pack. Pretty normal for Williams. This just another routine day at the office for him, honestly. We got SSR in the Ferrari, we got Tit in the Alpine, and we got Uncut in the Aston Martin. They're all pretty decent ways away. They got some ground to make up. But we got Supreme, Circle, Squish. Those are all following Little Mo. Pretty close behind. Squish in the final points position. Let's see if he can make up a spot here on Little Mo. Get him an extra point or so here. He's also on softs. Cuts to the outside. Makes the move. Good job. Oh, we do have the Mercedes of Circle going on Little Mo as well. He's going down the inside. Ah, makes a great move. Little Mo, I mean, it's tough when you got 3 guys that have DRS right there behind you and you don't have it. Kind of makes you sit and duck on that straight, but solid move from Circle and Squish. Circle getting up into those points positions. Circle getting up to 9th. We do have Captain following very closely behind Sub for Lime. Sub for Lime is still within striking distance, we'll say, of Lingy 12, and the Alpha Tauri. Alpha Tauri has found or lost some time there to Spasquash. So Spasquash seems to be having a solid race. Started in 4th, staying in 4th. He's got a good gap between the guy behind him. If he can, find a second or so getting that DRS of the top 3, that'll put him in there. But the top 3 are still the same. We got RF1 Tom, Drag King, and Dorsey. Looks like they're kind of pulling away a little bit, having their own race. Ooh, Drag King goes to the inside with Tom. Oh, man. That was nice move by Dorsey, taking advantage of that late move by Drag King. And then RF1 Tom cut him off. And that left the door open for Dorsey to just go right around that outside. And he took advantage of that. Solid, solid move. Gets him up to 2nd. Ooh. Drag King lost a little bit. Got a little squirrely. It's about 9-10. See if he can catch back up. Should still get DRS here. As long as he can stay in that DRS range, it'll always pull him back within. Dorsey's about 8/10 off. RF1 Tom. Spaz has now pulled in within a second of Drag King. Drag King with that little mistake has let Spasquash catch up a little bit. But we got Sub for Lime still. He's about 3 point off. And then we got a nice little DRS train behind him all the way to 12th. So from 6th to 12th, they will all have DRS there. Let's see if anybody can make a move. Looks like Lingley's going down the inside. Nice. Nice, easy move. Get ahead of him. Now let's see if you can break it. We do have Sublime just sticking right to the back of the car. Hoping to get that position back. Squish has down to 8th. He did bump up, but he's got a good battle with Captain. He gets in front of him now. There we go. Squish started in 11th, and he's up to 7th. So the McLaren's having a good day. They're both 3rd and 7th, respectively. Having a good day for the team. See if Squish can get within that 2nd, help him with any attack that he might get from any of the cars behind him, Captain or Circle, who both have DRS coming down this straight. Follow Captain here. Nope, Sublime might have a... Yep, down the inside. There's Sublime getting him back. Now, top 3. Still the same. It has moved around. Dorsey has gone up to 1st, and he got a 3-second gap between him and RF1 Tom. Unfortunately, we missed that. Curious what happened between the two. Wish we had replay. But Dorsey with 2.7 on RF1 Tom, so he's got a nice comfortable gap. Let's see if he can keep it. But RF1 Tom and Spaz Squash might be going at it here. Drag King has also entered the battle for the podium. RF1 Tom coming into pit. He was on softs. So Spaz Squash takes second. And we got Drag King. Looks like we got all of our soft drivers, soft tire runners coming into pit. RF1 Tom, Squish, and Chris. Still a nice DRS train behind Sublime. He can't seem to break it. Let's see Little Mo. Little Mo in the final points position. Running very closely with Lil Mick. No move. Let's see what he can do going down the front straight. Luckily for Lil Mick, he will have DRS on Supreme. Supreme will not. He's 1.2 off of Circle. Let's see if Lil Mo can get him. No, DRS is powerful down that front straight. We got Captain. He's following closely with Lingy. He's following closely with Sublime. It seems like Sublime's just going to have a DRS train to deal with behind him all race. Let's see if he can find some time, get a nice little gap and break that DRS, and see if he can go after Drag King. Drag King is 1.6 off the second placer right now, which is Spaz Squash, who is still 3 seconds behind Dorsey. So Dorsey having a comfortable race so far in first. He did start on the mediums. Our soft runners who just pitted, let's see how they're doing. RF1 Tom came out in mediums. He might be looking at a two-stopper. Soft, medium, medium. That's a risky thing to do on this track, but he is setting fast times. Squish is out. He's out on hard, so he might be sticking to the one. Ooh, we do have Drag King coming into the pits. One of the first medium tire runners to come into the pits. He's going to hards. See if he comes out in front of RF1 Tom. Doesn't look like he will. Let's see if he can stay ahead of his teammate Squish. Yes, he does. So both McLarens have pitted. They're running 11th and 12th, but still quite a few people that need to pit. Head back up here. Lingy, Captain, and Sergal. All three of them are following closely behind Sublime. And then we have Supreme. He's followed closely by Lil Mick and Little Mo. And then we have our racers who have pitted, who are now trying to, in the clear air, put down some really good times. That way when the next people pit, they can jump them, get ahead of them. But RF1 Tom setting purple sectors really quick. Looks like we're going to get some of more of our medium runners to come out or go into the pit. Looks like we got Sublime, Lingy, Sergal, and Little Mo, all of them coming in. So RF1 Tom, let's see how this happens here. He has jumped him. We got Drag King now jumped him. Squish has jumped him. And now we have our pitters coming out here. Very close between Sublime and Circle there. Sublime coming out of the pits. You got El Chris. El Chris is the only Red Bull we got running today. His teammate, Max Verstappen, said he was too good for this league, apparently. Bit surprising coming from a douchebag like him, but hey. We do have one Red Bull. He's in 12th. Let's see if he can make some places, running the hards. We do have our leader now pitting. Looks like he's going to hards. He's definitely doing the one stop. Let's see how he comes out. If he can get in front of RF1 Tom. RF1 Tom. There's RF1 Tom going past him now. Did get the undercut on him, but RF1 Tom is on mediums. Those tires may wear out. Let's see how Dorsey does on the hards. Styled Harmony with a 3-second time penalty. Somebody needs to learn to keep their car on the track. You know, someone who used to do a cappella in high school with a name called Styled Harmony. Yeah, it's one thing he told us was he used to be in an a cappella group back in high school, and that's why he goes by Styled Harmony. Cannot keep it on the track, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. So there are some gaps starting to happen. We do have Lil Mick, who's still within 5/10 of Supreme. Those guys still need to pit. Let's see if they come into pit here. They do not. Let's see if Lil Mick can get on the podium places. Supreme drastically going to the inside, trying to break the toe. Looks like Lil Mick has got him. Yep, just kept it right around the outside, kept it there. Solid move. Sublime, let's see if he can make a spot into the points positions on Circle. He's closing up, but he's just a little bit too far. Fortunately, Uncut Jules, Tit, and SSR Sandwich, just not their day today. Uncut is about 27 seconds off of the pack. Realistically, it's about 35, and Uncut Jewel just got a 3-second time penalty. Tit is 2.2 behind him, and then SSR and pulling up the rear with a 12.8 behind Tit. So we'll see what happens. We do have our leader pitting. Now SSR gets a 3-second time penalty. Our leader, Spaz Squash, and Captain have both pits. Looks like we have Lil Mick and Supreme taking over the top 2 spots. They still need to pit. But RF1 Tom, Dorsey gets ahead of him, Drag King. And so does... Ooh, that's close between Drag King, Stacey's. Okay, so Spaz Squash does split the McLarens. Squish is about 6/10 off. Let's see if he can kind of reel him in as Spaz is warming up those hard tires. Again, a solid race with McLaren, 5th and 7th respectively, both in the points. RF1 Tom is about 2.6 off the leaders that still need to pit, with Dorsey 2.4 off of them. Do have Squish coming in. Let's see if he can make a move here. He's about 4/10 off of Spaz Squash. Just keeps it nice and tidy. The ideal place to make the move is obviously turn one at this track. So no surprise that you just turn the DRS on there, keep it nice and close to the gentleman in front of you. That way when you come up to the front straight, you can make your move there. It's a lot easier, cleaner. Drag does get in front of Supreme, who has pit finally. And looks like Squish has taken over 5th from Spaz. So we got 2 McLarens in the top 5. Little Mick still needing to pit. He seems to be going long. I'm sure those tires are really worn out by now. Dorsey starting to reel in a little of RF1 Tom, has gotten the gap down to 1.4. We got the other Mercedes, Sergel. He's within DRS of Spaz Squash, and Spaz Squash is still clinging behind Squish, not letting him get away. Got maybe a little bit of a DRS train hopping on there behind Squish with Spaz, Dat, Lingy, Sublime, and Chris. So 5th through 10th, all within DRS of each other. We finally have our Little Mick, the leader, come into the pit. Let's see where he comes out at. Little Mick. Looks like he might come out. Nope. And he's going to drop all the way from 1st to 12th. So staying out didn't seem like it helped him all that much. We do have Dorsey, though. He has pulled within DRS of our leader, RF1 Tom. We'll see what he can do on this lap. Again, here you want to just kind of get closer and closer to the guy in front of you. Sometimes you can make a move there. It's not unheard of. But usually if you make a move there, the guy you just passed is going to have DRS down that long front straight and will get you right back. So best place to do it at is turn 1 and try and build a little gap over the rest of the lap. But here comes Dorsey. He's 4/10 off. Let's see if he can make a move here. And he's just slotting in right there behind RF1 Tom. I'm curious if he thinks RF1 Tom is doing a 2-stopper. He went from softs to mediums. So he's going to play it nice and smooth. Looks like we got Spaz get in front of Squish. Let's see if Squish can kind of keep him in his sights. Again, a nice little DRS train from 4th to 9th. Interesting facts about Squish. We actually talked to his mother. She's in attendance. We talked to his mother. She was telling us some funny stories about Squish. Apparently, in the 3rd grade, he got held back because all he did was pee on other kids. Don't know where that fetish came from. Apparently it's still a fetish today. But he does have Dat Sergel right on his gearbox. Right on his gearbox. Let's see if he can defend the place. Does not have DRS. That's kind of leave him as a sitting duck here as Sergel goes up. Goes to the inside and does get ahead. As well as Lingy getting ahead of Sublime. Basically 2 identical moves right there. Lingy and Sergel go to the inside and make the move before turn 1. Let's see if they can break away or if the Squish and Sub can kind of stick with them and get that place back. Some close battles here from 5th to 10th. We do have Dorsey, who has taken over the lead from RF1 Tom. Did it right there in turn 1 as we expected. But RF1 Tom is going to keep him in his sights. RF1 Tom did pit before Dave, and he does have on mediums, which are going to wear out quicker than those hard tires. See if RF1 Tom, who's about 6/10 back here down this front straight. See if he can catch up, get past him, or if he just slots in behind, stays behind. Looks like he's going to stay behind him. Just a little bit too far back. Looks like we have Lingy making a move on Squish. Down in turn 1. Squish is now falling back 2 spots in the same amount of laps, and now he's got Sublime right on his gearbox. But he's staying with Lingy. Seems to be a good battle there for 6th. Also have Captain that's in the battle right there. Looks like Captain might be pulling a move. Yes, he does. Down the inside on that turn. That's nice racing. Good job from Captain keeping it clean down that turn. That's not a easy place to make a pass, but if you're there, you're there. Chris is now pulling in with all this fighting, slowing him down. Chris is now pulled in within DRS. We got a nice little 5-car battle for 6th, it looks like. Looks like Squish might be making a move on Lingy. Lingy goes to the inside to defend, lets him pass, and then Lingy comes back across. Captain going around the outside. Let's see if he can hold it. He can. Yes, he can. Captain getting ahead. Oh, now we got Sublime going after Lingy. Lingy, yep, he gets past, and then there's Chris who gets ahead of him. Lingy with a terrible 4 turns there. He lost 4 places in 4 turns. Lingy talking about how he wanted to channel his inner Daniel Ricciardo for this race, being that he's in the AlphaTauri. Looking a little bit like a McLaren Daniel Ricciardo, not the Red Bull Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, he said that, and I said, don't disrespect a legend like Daniel Ricciardo. You're nowhere near as good as him. You'll never be as good as him. And he said, oh yeah, watch this. And what do you know, lo and behold, he under-delivers and loses 4 spots in 4 corners. So RF1 Tom is now pit. Looks like he's going to the softs. We got about 8 laps left in this race. RF1 Tom is going to come out, looks like in 13th behind Little Mo. Let's see what times he can pump, see if he can catch back up to those leaders on those soft tires. He is going to be blistering quick, but he doesn't want to wear those things out too quickly. Dorsey does take over the top spot. He's got a 7-second gap on Drag King. So he's going to keep it nice and smooth on those hards, not wear them out, keep as much life in those tires throughout the race. Unfortunately, he did come across some lap traffic from Uncut Jules, who did get out of the way, but then, behind him, looks like he lost the rear end. He's not having a good race. In third, we got Spaz. He's within DRS of Drag King. He might be a little bit too far back, but let's see if he can reel him in within the next lap or 2. We do have the other Mercedes in Sergel, who in 4th. So Mercedes and McLaren having 2 really good races. Looks like Captain is going to get back ahead of Squish. They're just kind of going back and forth. And then in the final points position, Lingy has just gotten passed by Supreme. Supreme. And he's got Lil Mick, who's going to go on the inside in the softs. And Lil Mick is going to take that final points position. Unfortunately, Lil Mick is in a Williams, so we'll see what he can do. They're not great with their tire wear, but we'll see what he can do. Lingy is now outside the points. SSR is now with another 3-second penalty. That doesn't really affect his race. And now we do have Sublime getting ahead of Squish. RF1 Tom has overtaken Little Mo pretty quickly. Oh no, looks like one of our leaders in second, Drag King, has now gotten a 3-second time penalty. That is not good. Spazquash gets ahead of him here. Now he does have a 4-second gap between him and Sergal, so if the race ended, he would keep the 3rd place position. Squish does take Subfrelime position back on that front straight. So again, they're kind of going back and forth. Subfrelime sticking with them. It's a good battle for 6th and 7th. They kind of keep going back and forth. But you also got 8th for Chris, 9th for Supreme. They're all pretty tightly packed in there. So with about 6 laps to go, this is anybody's race in those positions. Wow, risky move from Chris, diving down the inside. But it looks like Sublime keeps the position. Oh no, we got Supreme getting a little ballsy. Yep, dives down the inside on Chris. And he takes 8th place. That's nice for Squish with that battling. He kind of gets a little bit of a gap, as well as Sublime. And then Chris and Supreme get ahead of Sublime. Little Mick as well. So Sublime going from, what was it, 8th to 10th, or 7th to 10th. Loses out on 3 spots. Little Mick is jumping Chris up in the 8th. For Williams, he's doing really, really good. Those soft tires, I think, are doing him really well. But we got him, and then RF1 Tom has joined the pack. Let's see. Getting through this traffic is really going to determine whether he can catch up to Dorsey. It might not be enough laps left. But he's going quick. I'm going to sit here and watch RF1 Tom for a little bit. Might run out of laps. There's about 4 laps left. And he's close to 15, 16 seconds off the leader. He's going to go down the inside, looks like, on Little Mick. He has gotten the job done. Solid. But he's going to need to dispatch of the Alpha and the McLaren pretty quickly if he wants to even fight for the podium. Squish has got about 3 cars just right on his gearbox there, ready for him to make any mistake. Probably shouldn't have smoked that weed before the race, huh, Squish? Let's see if any of them make a move down here. Got the Alpha and RF1 Tom. RF1 Tom splits them and goes right there. That was a nice move. Got that done easy. Now let's see if he can get that gap, which is about 3 seconds to Captain. See if he can get that. And then we do have Captain, who's about 6/10 off of Sergal. And then we did get Drag King get past Spazquatch again, but Drag King does have that 3-second time penalty, so we do have Supreme and Squish battling out. They just are going back and forth. Here comes Little Mick down the inside. Those soft tires are giving him better grip. Let's see if he can get ahead as they go side by side into the swooping right-hander. Ooh. Oh no, Squish has had to take evasive. Oh, and he gets past. Little Mick may have pushed him out, but he left him enough space. It costs Squish big time, as he had to go onto the grass and lose time, and he lost out to Chris and Sublime, pushing him out of the points. Little Mick is close within Supreme. And now Lingy gets ahead of Squish. I think, no, Squish gets back. See if he can keep him. He's got to keep those, get those tires clean from going off. Nope. Squish down to 12th. Unfortunately, the McLarens were having a really great race, both in the points, but that mistake from Squish has cost the team kind of dearly here later in the race, as we're going to be... Oh, uncut Jules. Another 3-second time penalty. Not a big deal. He's down at the bottom. So we got Dave, our leader, who is now 6 seconds ahead of Drag King on our penultimate lap here. And then you got Squish, Spaz Squash, which is 4/10 behind Drag King. If I had to guess, he's just going to play it safe since Drag King does have a 3-second time penalty. Just so there's no accident or anything, because he'll get that position. Drag King will fall down to 3rd. We do have Captain, who is coming up close on Circle. Let's see if Circle can do anything. As we start the final lap here with our leader, Dave Dorsey. Nobody really expected this. Dorsey's a solid driver, but he's more of a... kind of gets on the podium. That's about it. Usually doesn't win. But apparently this Mercedes is built to take average drivers to wins, which is nice. Captain does get Sergel down there in turn 1. Let's see if Sergel can fight back. This is for 4th place. Sergel staying ahead, gets back ahead of Captain. RF1 Tom is right there. The final lap in 6th. Let's see if he can make any moves. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. As Captain takes a lunge down the inside. Oh, and Sergel just kind of cuts him off. But that was a risky dive from Captain. Risky dive from Captain. Sergel gets the place. It was risky. It cost him. Coming up at the end of the race, I can understand it. RF1 Tom gets ahead of him. Supreme Little Mick gets ahead of him. But we got Dorsey with your winner. Squash. Spaz Squash as your 2nd place. And then Drag King as your 3rd place. Solid race all around. Unfortunately, Styled, Harmony, SSR, and Uncut Jules. Too many penalties. Had to pit. They just not up for it this race. Tit wasn't really up for it. He's 35 seconds off. But a really good race from the top 10 throughout. They kept it close. Some good battles. Mostly kept it clean. But congrats to our winner, which is Dave Dorsey. I mean, blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, right? Good for Dorsey. We'll see if we can get some interviews with our podium finishers. We'll watch the ceremonies here. Dorsey with the top spots. Spaz Squash in 2nd. And then we had Drag King in 3rd. Again, we're trying to get with the racers here. See if we can get an interview with any of the podium finishers. Looks like we might be having Drag King. We should get the winner, Dorsey, and Spaz Squash. We're still trying to see if he will talk to us. RF1 Tom, though, he was the pole sitter. Started at the front. He went with the two-stopper, soft, medium, soft. Seems to have cost him as he got fifth. We'll see if we can get Dorsey in here for the interview with the winning racer. See if he accepts our invite. Probably won't, because his wife is going to have him do some things now that his race is over with. He needs to attend to the wife and make her happy. But we'll see if we can get him. Alrighty, looks like we do have Dorsey Dave joining me here as the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix. Are you there, Dave? Yep, go ahead and include that audio so other people can hear you. We also have Drag King has now joined, our third place finisher. See if we can get to talking with him while Dorsey figures out his microphone. Are you there, Drag King? No. Okay, you're not. So, Drag King, how did it go out there? I noticed you got the penalty there kind of at the end, which was a stinker, but seemed like it was pretty clean up front for most of the race. It was good. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I mean, that was Drag King's race. Pretty impressive. Um, there he is again. He's back. He had to take a drink of his Jack Daniels, his sponsorship. Mm-hmm. Good. I would say it is a positive result as well. It was looking pretty good for the McLaren team out there. Unfortunately, Squish had a little incident in the second or third to last lap, and he kind of got right at the end of the point. So not as good, but solid race from you. Pretty impressive, like you said, started in second. Still finished third with a penalty. So we'll be looking forward to you racing next week. Hopefully you can get up to second or even win one for McLaren, eh? All right. Yes, it is. Well, I mean, yep, little Jack Daniels makes you go from a drag king to a drag queen. That's what I always say. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and talk to our race winner, Dorsey Dave. Dorsey Dave. It seemed at the front there you were kind of biding your time, and then as Drag King and RF1 were doing a little battle, you kind of snuck in there and got up to first, and never really had an issue rest of the way. You got a couple second gap there, and then RF1 had to start pitting, and seemed like a pretty easy race for you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was that was the next question. Was you and the Mercedes team and McLaren team were both on there for good finishes. Again, unfortunately for Squish, he had an incident, but Sergel was right there. I forget he finished fifth or fourth, like he finished fourth, like you said. Um, so really big points for Mercedes. What are you guys looking for next week as a team? Are you looking to take that double podium? Are you bringing any upgrades to next race? What's going on for next week? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we made the comment before qualifying how Mercedes has side pods now. It's about time. They were kind of wasting their time with that previous design. So glad they brought that. It seems like that boosted you up to the top and also boosted your teammates. So really happy for Mercedes to be back up there. Um, and we look forward to next week, you guys. Keeping another nice, clean race. No safety cars. We had the early safety car, but nothing too crazy. VSC, nothing too crazy. Some good, hard battling. Nobody pushing anybody off. So you guys have a good night. Yep, not a problem. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully I will check and make sure I'm here for next week. But if you guys watch it back, leave any comments, anything I can change. Um, Hopefully you guys enjoy it though. All right, you guys have a good night. Alrighty, guys. So that was our interview with Dorsey and Drag King. Two good racers that had good races today. Their cars performed well for them. They did good. But we're going to leave it here for tonight. We will see you all next week and have a good one.